I feel like I've transitioned the last few years from playing live cash games and tournaments to focusing on Twitch, building a brand, and then ultimately, kind of segueing even out from there to focus more on the business side of poker, but then in turn, within crypto, NFTs, kind of market trends and what's hot, feel like that I kind of, that's one of the benefits of playing poker is you get to meet a lot of interesting people. You get exposed to a lot of interesting ideas, concepts, thinking, for your age, my age, I'm 35. I think it's a pretty cool spot to be right now because some of the older generate guys that you get to play with that are older, maybe in their 50s, 60s even, and then you got the up and comer kind of prodigies or whiz kids, and like even like the NFTs and the stuff where it's like I get it, I understand it, I'm in it, but there's kids that are like wizards, in their own respect that are 18, 20, 21. So I'm kind of like in the middle where I get to kind of get the best of both worlds and bridge things and kind of connect the dots. So yeah, it's a fun time, it's a fun place, and for me, I've always loved business. I've always loved kind of building things and networking and social stuff. So yeah, Twitch was always a natural fit for me, and then playing live poker's been fun. And I like to think of myself as very balanced. Like I do a little bit of everything. The podcast got 150 episodes now, a little over. Twitch I've streamed, I have 80,000 following. Done that for since like late 2015. So yeah, healthy 5 years. YouTube video I've been doing since 2017, building vlogs and content that way. So yeah, it's fun. It's interesting, and then being on the business side of poker as well on some investments and opportunities such as Stake Kings, Luxon, whatever. I can name a dozen poker sort of related brands and things. Even Brain Fuel, which I know you tried.
Brain Fuel.
That's maybe what you need right now. You said you're a little tired, but that'll get you. That'll shoot you right up on energy levels. But yeah. So anyway, I enjoy it. I think it's fun, and I just kind of love being in the mix. And I think that part of poker, it really gives you access to things when you have success, right? Like yourself being one of the most successful tournament cash game players in the world online, and just kind of find yourself in some unique situations and opportunities. And I think that's part of the fun of it is to being the best or one of the best at something you do. You get to kind of be around like-minded people in other categories and stuff. And it's always fascinating to me, whether it's actors, athletes, chefs, doctors, lawyers, anyone that's like very successful. Generally, there's a lot of hard work that goes into that, right? There's a lot, you have to create your own luck. There's driving forces that happen, like it's not just like the best actor in the world is like, oh, he's really good looking. Okay. Maybe he is or isn't, but like there's also a lot of things he's done well to become that, to be motivated, to be driven, to deal with failure, deal with successes. There's a lot of things that go into those to be this most successful in your whatever field it is. So I just think poker is one of those things where just like in basketball, you can't play the best player in the world and compete. It's poker and golf. Golf, you can handicap. Poker is very unique where anyone can sit down with whatever, ability, and you're able to compete. Maybe not very well, but you can play, you can win. And I think that's that unique thing where it's like a social environment where there's luck and skill combined. And it's just a great game that I love, and does definitely provide some fruits of the labor, right? Where there's some nice benefits and things and interesting people and concepts, ideas you get to be exposed to.
That was actually really well said, and especially with the speed that you put in a ton of that information in there. Yeah, it's a unique perspective. It is something that if you have a lot of success in, and it's one of those. Another thing about poker is that you don't have to be like the best in the world to necessarily have success. Like you could, like, there are plenty of people who grind out like 5-10 or whatever and make decent money. But yeah, one of the cool things about poker, as you said, is it's kind of like a bridge between a lot of worlds. I didn't even think of like, us being our age group of like being the bridge between the younger and older generation. But yeah, I mean, if you know how to use it right, you can be linked to some of the best in the world in all sorts of things. I remember also I recall you were good friends with Michael Phelps as an example. I mean, like that must have been really, really quite an experience. I met him myself, actually. That was when I first met you, I don't know if that was when I first met you or the second time I met you. I might have met you in Vegas first and then met you guys in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, for sure. So Mike, I met actually at a poker table in 2006 in Windsor, Canada. He was going to the University of Michigan. I'm from Ann Arbor. It was the summertime. And we met there playing poker, and I moved in with him in 2008 in Baltimore after I finished school, and until 2015, we were living together. So yeah, I mean, I've known Mike's one of my best friends in the world. A lot of cool experiences and times, and even now do like daily fantasy golf. We'll do each week, and we talk a few times a week. And he has 3 kids. I have 1 kid, and both married. But yeah, for sure, that was like a crazy time. Being from 2008, what I was like 22 till 29, basically living with him. So good prime of kind of fun, and when I was single and just traveling the world playing cards, and that was like definitely great memories and times, and yeah, pretty obviously unique. Being with Mike being the greatest Olympian of all time, and the work ethic, and kind of seeing some of the stuff he does to be successful, and what what it takes and whatnot. Definitely also was a nice kind of auxiliary, like to rub off a little bit, and in some respects, right, getting to see how that works. And I'm not going to compare myself to him. I'm just saying, you get to kind of see like, wow, like here's a guy willing to do things that others aren't willing to do. And, that goes a long way in anything, any field, or any life. So I think that was something at least that I got to witness and take notes on, and maybe hopefully absorb some of those characteristics.
Yeah, that is one of the benefits of being close to people who are the best in their fields, or, well, just being in that network, just see, or yeah, to absorb the mindsets of people who are driven to win, that kind of thing.